So next we have here basically a throttle valve with check valve. So these throttle valve with check valve basically helps in the regulation of the air, that is throttling of the air, as well as controlling the direction of flow of the air. So you can see the symbol. So this is the symbol of throttle valve with check valve. So this is the two valves are both integrated into the single system here. So in this you can see the arrow mark here, right? So what this arrow mark indicates is, if I am giving input at this valve, this particular port, and output obviously will be there coming out from this. So if the input is given in this direction, the air can be throttled. So how the air can be throttled? The air can be throttled by rotating this knob. So this knob will in turn open and close the cross-sectional area inside the valve, so which in turn will allow the air to pass through, right? So I can basically throttle the flow, that is the flow rate of the air, by rotating this knob. So when it is completely open, 100% air will pass, and as a result there is no throttling. If I rotate it clockwise, there will be throttling based on that. That is throttling. Whereas if the air is given input from this direction and it is taken as output from the other port, then you can see the symbol here. There is a check valve, and the check valve basically allows the air to pass through the check valve, and air will always take the path of the least resistance, and as a result the air will bypass the throttling, but it will directly go to the other side. So if the input is from this side and output is coming from the output of this port, there is no throttling. If you want throttling to happen, then you need to follow the arrow mark here. So input has to be given in this, output will be taken, so that is where throttling action takes place. So these type of valves are basically used to control the flow rate, and they are used to control the speed of actuation, right, of the cylinders. So next we have in front of us basically a shuttle valve. The shuttle valve operates, it is also known as a OR valve. So these type of valves are basically used as for the logic purpose, signal processing elements as we call it. And you can see the symbol of this valve. So this valve has 3 ports. These are the ports. You have port 1, which is both are input ports, and then there is one output port, right? You are all familiar with the OR logic. The OR logic, what it states is basically if any one signal is present, right? So you have 2 inputs, only one output. If any one of the input is present, then that you'll be getting the output. And as a result, this is basically used for various logic operations in the pneumatic circuit. So how this is constructed is, basically you have this ball which is there inside. This shuttles between the port 1, right, between these 2 ports. Something similar to this again, but a different logic obviously, is you have the dual pressure valve. So this is basically a dual pressure valve or AND valve, right? So this basically performs the AND logic. So AND logic, as you know, again, you have 2 inputs and 1 output. You can see the symbol here. These are the 2 inputs and this is the output. AND logic states that basically in order to get an output, you need to have both the inputs present, right? So if any one of the input is absent, you will not get the output signal, right? So that is the basic function of an AND logic. So this valve is known as a dual pressure valve. When the input is given in the dual ports, both the ports, then only you will be getting the output at the port 2. Otherwise there is no output. Again, these two can be combined together to obtain various different logical operations, to bring in logical operations into your pneumatic circuit. Here what I have in front of me is basically a quick exhaust valve or a quick relief valve. So these type of valves are basically used for making sure that the air which is being exhausted from the cylinders are released to the atmosphere quickly. So the reason why we have these type of valves is to basically to reduce, let us say, the cycle time of an operation. Usually in a pneumatic system, if there is, the work usually happens in only one stroke, either forward stroke or in the return stroke. So the other stroke, that is either the forward stroke or the return stroke, one of these strokes will be, there is no work which will be happening. So in order to ensure the cycle time reduces, we would like to have that particular stroke which does not have any work to do to return to its normal position quickly. So in order to facilitate that, you have quick exhaust valve. So how this functions is very simple. So here you can see you have 3 ports. The pressure, this is the port P, right, where you will be giving the input, and port A is the output port, and R indicates exhaust port or a release port, right. So you can see R is the exhaust port. You can see the orifice of the exhaust. The exhaust orifice is huge. So since the orifice is huge, the air gets released faster, right. As a result, there is a quick release of air. So that is why it is known as a quick relief, or quick exhaust valve. So, that is the basic function of this. So usually this is connected at the end, at the output of the double acting cylinders, where the air has to be released quickly. So that is the function of this, which is quick exhaust valve. Okay, so what I have here is basically a time delay valve. This is a valve which is an integrated valve which can be used to set the time, to delay the operations. So how this works is basically, it is having accumulator inside. The accumulator basically will fill up the air, and the flow of air to the accumulator can be controlled by the throttling. So this is the throttling valve. It is a combination of several valves. Here this is the throttling of the air, and accumulator is there inside. You can have a look at the symbol of the time delay valve. So this is the symbol of the time delay valve. The basic nomenclature of the ports of these valves will be as follows. So here you can see there is pressure port P. So this is the port where you will be giving the input. This is the input port. Then Z is usually my pilot port. This is the pilot port, which is in turn filling up the accumulator. This is the port through which the air is circulated to the accumulator. And this is port A. A is basically actuation port. So this port can be connected to either an actuator or maybe a valve, whatever it is, right? So this is time delay valve. This is a special type of valve what I have in front of me. This is basically a pressure, pressure valve, pressure operated valve. So this can be used to preset the pressure. When the signal reaches a particular preset pressure, then this valve will give the output, right? So this has again 3 ports. You can see the ports here. Port A is the actuation port. You can see the ports. Port A is the actuation port, and port P is the input port, and Z is my pilot operated port. So whatever the high pressure air which is coming, that is given to the pilot operated port here. The input of course for this entire valve to function is given to the pressure port P, and the output of this port is taken from port A. How to set the pressure? You need to set the pressure by rotating this knob. So if you set the screw, so it is again everything needs to be calibrated manually, and it has to be done. So if I rotate this, if I increase or decrease this accordingly, the pressure will be set. This is basically a pressure gauge. This will measure the pressure, how much pressure is there, and it will display using this dial gauge. So in this dial gauge you have 2 different readings. The one what you see in the blue color is in the bar, and the one which is there inner circle, that is basically is in PSI. So here this is only used for displaying the pressure. In order to know the pressure at different points, you will just connect the input to one of these ports, you will take the output. So at that junction, what is the pressure, what is there, that will be displayed in this particular dial gauge. if you integrate the dial gauge with a regulation, then you have a pressure regulator, right? Pressure regulator with gauge. This is a pressure regulator with the gauge. So here you can see the dial gauge. The dial gauge is used to measure the pressure, and at the same time you have the regulator here. So you can see I can just pull this up and rotate this to set the required regulation of the air, and whatever air I'm sending from one port to another port here, so input to the output, that will go through the regulator here. So this is regulating the regulating the air, as well as it is displaying the pressure. So that is why it is known as basically a pressure regulation valve with the dial gauge.